Hi guys, my name is Max and I am one of the trainers and the owner at Ready Set Train. So in today's video we're going to keep working on our loose leash walking exercises. This is going to be part of our loose leash walking series. We're going to do an exercise called walking to a target. What does that mean? What is walking to a target? For us, the target is anything on a walk that the dog wants to get to. So as you're walking with your dog, think about what are the things that they are trying to pull you towards? What are the things that they want to get to? What are the things they're interested in? That's your target. And we can use that thing that the dog wants to get to as a reward for loose leash walking. We don't always have to use a treat to reinforce good behavior. So for instance, my dogs, there's a fire hydrant across the road here. Whenever we go on a walk, they want to go over and smell the fire hydrant. So if they're pulling me, I'm not going to let them go over to that thing. I don't want to reward that behavior. So I would stop. I would get them to check in. And when they pay attention to me and we loose leash walk over to the thing that they want, that will be the reward for their good behavior. So we're going to show you today how you can start to practice this in a kind of a controlled way and then eventually apply it to real world, real life scenarios. So right now in the backyard, while I'm teaching Icy, I'm going to use a treat because I know it's something that Icy will definitely want to go pull towards and try to get. So the way that we practice this exercise is I'm going to get Icy to come to my side here. I'm going to put the treat to her nose for a couple of seconds. I'm going to let her check it out. I'm going to get ready because Icy is definitely going to pull me at this point. So I keep my feet shoulder width apart. I keep my hand locked at my center of gravity. I make sure I'm giving her just enough leash where there's a nice J, but she's not going to get a lot of leverage or momentum going on the point on this leash. So I let her check it out. I'm prepared for her to pull. I'm going to toss it just a little bit out in front. I only want to have to walk 1 or 2 steps right now, and I'm going to wait. So Icy is yanking towards that treat at first, and now she's saying, okay, that doesn't work. Maybe I have to lay down. What behavior do I have to do? So what we want is for Icy to stop pulling on the leash. That's our first number 1 criteria. And the second criteria is look at me. She almost did it right there. She's sitting, she's laying down, she's saying, how do I get that food? The gears in Icy's brain are turning at the moment. So what I would like, oh, she stole it. This might happen sometimes. So what I would like is for her not to be having any tension on that leash. That's, again, my number 1 criteria. I try to put myself a little bit out to the dog's side so it's easier for them to look at us. If you're right behind the dog, that is going to be harder. So that time, Icy stopped pulling. She checked in. I click or use your marker, whatever it is. And then we walk right over to the thing that the dog wanted to get to. So we'll do this again. Let her see the treat. Get ready because the dog's going to pull. Toss it out in front. Put myself a little bit out to the side, and I'm waiting. I'm not saying her name. I'm not making a funny noise. I want her to check in all on her own. So she almost checked in there. She kind of half glanced at me, but I would like a little bit of eye contact. There, we got it. We walk over to that treat. As long as the dog doesn't pull, we go over to it. If as I was going towards the treat, Icy started to yank my arm off again, I would stop again. We start by only tossing that treat just a couple of feet in front of us. We don't want to have much distance. We want to make it really easy for the dog to be successful and not pull in order to get to the target. But once we notice the dog is checking in pretty quickly, once we see that we're having success walking that short distance, we want to, as quickly as possible, add more distance to this behavior. So what we're going to do here is we're going to get Icy to stop doing some rolls on the ground. Icy, come here. Get her at my side, put a treat to her nose, and this time I'm going to toss the treat a little bit farther. So I'll toss it out. Icy is hopefully learning. She's not pulling, doesn't work. When she checks in, I click, and we start to walk over. If Icy starts to pull again, I stop again. So I want her to walk on a loose leash the entire distance to that target. Even if she's getting distracted, she's got to learn that sniffing doesn't work, pulling doesn't work. I have to check in with the person holding the leash in order to get moving forward again. Resist the urge to say their name, resist the urge to make a funny noise. You really want the dog to check in on their own if possible. Almost. Almost again. I'm not going to let her just wander all over there and sniff. I'm going to try to kind of keep her in one spot. So I limit her options of what she can do. The best option is going to be looking at me. Icy's getting tired, I think, too, of doing these exercises. So we'll just try to do this 1 or 2 more times and show you guys the final steps. There we go. We waited her out. She gets to her treat if she doesn't pull. We're going to do 1 more time, and I'm going to show you the final level that we can do for this. Come on, Icy. We'll come back here, get her to my side, show her a treat. I'm going to, again, toss it way out in front. I want her to check in. When she looks, we start to walk. And if I notice Icy starts to pull, I'm going to turn, do that reversal, and walk all the way back to the start. So this would be the final level of this exercise. If the dog starts to pull, you have to go all the way back to the starting point. It's only when you walk on a nice loose leash, when you don't pull, that you get to the thing that you want. So that would be the final step. At each of these levels, they'll get a lot of consistency, get a lot of success, then go up to a harder difficulty level. This is what we call walking to a target. The target is the thing your dog wants to get to. The target is the thing your dog is pulling you towards. In this situation, while we're training, we're using a treat because I know it's something that the dog wants. But in real life, think about the things that your dog is pulling you towards on a walk. Is it the person that they want to see? Is it the fire hydrant that they want to check out? Is it the bush that every dog in the neighborhood pees on? Watch your dog, and when they start to pull you towards something, do this exercise. Get them to check in. When they check in and walk on a loose leash, they get to have access to that thing that they were pulling you towards. You don't need a treat. The reward is just getting to things that they want to get to, smelling things that they want to smell, checking things out that they want to check out. So this is our walking to a target exercise. Be sure to check out all of our other loose leash walking videos in our loose leash walking series. You can also check out our basic behavior series of videos. We are also a fully functioning training company. So if you go to our website, www.readysettraindogs.com, you can check out our in-home private training, our group classes, our dog walking services. So you can book any of those services through our website. So thank you so much for watching. Happy training.
Okay.
Oh, oh. She actually just went into a treat that I threw earlier.
Right.
Hey.
Oh. What is it? Don't touch